Sayan to share the new ball along with Amartya Bharadwaj. A very good afternoon to all our live viewers. Huge appeal and given. Sohan Lad there missed a very straight delivery. That was plumb in front. Full straight hitting the middle stump. He got his stride out. He got across the line and then missed a straight delivery. No hesitation in the umpire's mind before giving it up out. Sohan Lad, the man dismissed. Dismissed after scoring 3 or 4 deliveries. Well, first one down for PFH Falcons. White Walker strikes in the very second over the balls, getting rid of Sohan Lat. Sayan, Sayan, the man with the golden arm, strikes at the very first ball. He delivers a knockout punch for Sohan Lat. 6 for 1 after 1.1. One champion elite season 43. This is the third match of the day in the Super Saturday. PFH Falcons taking on White Walkers. Coin toss fell in favor of White Walkers. They have opted to field first. They have drawn first blood in the very first over. In fact, in the very second over. 6 for 1. New batter in is Deepti Ranjan in at number 3 for PFH Falcons. 323 matches for Deepti Ranjan, 7,424 runs, averaging 32.14, strike rate 138 for Deepti Ranjan in at number 3. That's a boundary, no better way to announce yourself at the batting crease. Deepti Ranjan just plays that one off the back foot between point and gully and gets first runs for himself. First boundary for PHF Falcons coming off the blade of Deepti Ranjan. Sayan just shot on that occasion. Once again, very full and he hits the timber. Well, Deepti Ranjan there got his stride out, looking to defend, but there was a gap between bat and pad, and Sayan goes through that gap and hits the off stump that takes Peck back on that occasion. Two down in a blink of an eye. Falcons 10 for the loss of 2 inside 2 overs. Ashish Malik is the new batter in at number 4 for Falcons. 171 matches for Ashish Malik, 1721 runs, averaging just under 15 strike rate, 117.17 for Ashish Malik. Once again, very full delivery, driven on the up, wide of long, mid off. So it was a single there, and both the batters running through and completing the single with ease. Ashish Malik gets off the mark with that single, hands over the strike back to Nikhil. A very good over so far, 5 runs and couple of wickets. Well, that's on the pads. That's a poor delivery to close out the over. Beautifully clipped by Nikhil. No one there in the final leg, so it was a boundary. 2 runs and 9 runs coming off the second over. 2 wickets and 9 runs coming off the second over by Sayan. What an eventful over that was. PFH Falcons 15 for the loss of 2 after 2. Amartya Bharadwaj to continue. Well, that's in the air, but just wide of that gully fielder. No point chasing that ball in the outfield as it raced away very quickly. That was in the air for a very long while. In fact, there was a fielder behind, so he'll cut that off. So it will only be a single, but that was in the air for a very long while. Ashish Malik might have had his heart in mouth, but that ball just evades the fielder towards his right. There's a fielder behind in the point, driven on the up, straight to the cover point. They are looking for the quick single. They'll get it. Fielder does well to get to the ball and throws a sharp throw, but by the time he throws, the batter was well inside. Score moves to 17. 17 for 2 after 2.2. Once again, played late off the back foot, allowed the ball to come. Ashish Malik and opened the face at the very last moment. Gets a single in the gully. Score moves to 18. 6 of 5 for Nikhil, whereas run a ball 3 for Ashish Malik. 18 for 2 after 2.3. Driven, but straight to the covers on that occasion. That's a dot ball. Good looking cover drive from Nikhil, but his body weight on that occasion was not going towards the ball. Should have been more getting on the front foot while playing that shot. He's playing too away from his body. That is the reason why it played the ball in the air on few instances. Well, this time tries to cut that one very late, but no connection with the bat. Good carry through the wicket keeper. That's a dot ball. Well, in the air, this time it will not be cut off as the ball goes toward the left of gully fielder. That's a boundary to close out the over. 7 coming off the third over. Falcons 22 for the loss of 2 after 3. Sayan will continue. Hit away on the onside. There's a fielder behind in the mid wicket, so it will only be a single. Score moves to 23 with that single. In the air, almost carries to Sayan in his follow through. What a ball that was! Once again, on a good length. Nikhil just punching it from there itself. That ball almost carried to the bowler Sayan in his follow through. Very full. This time it was at good height but struck firmly. Sayan for a moment thought of catching it, but in the end just bails it hands out. Bails his hands out at the very last moment. That's a boundary for Nikhil. That was very well struck shot. Beats the mid off fielder towards his right. That ball raced very quickly off the surface. Beautifully timed shot from Nikhil to get a boundary. Full toss on the pads. Well, Nikhil gets his knee down and beautifully hits it over square leg for a boundary. Back to back boundaries for Nikhil. He moves to 18 with that boundary. Falcon score moves to 31. 31 for 2 in just 3.4. Well, Sayan, he's got 2 wickets, but he's been expensive. 1.4 overs, 18 for 2 so far for him. Short ball, looking to play off the back foot. Gets it off the toe. Straight to the short cover, no run there. So it's been given as a dot ball. Low full toss, hit away. There's a fielder behind, but that ball will not carry to the deep fielder. Both the batters will come back for two to close out the over. 11 runs coming off the fourth over. 33 for 2 after 4. Well, that was hit straight to the mid off fielder who puts it down. What has happened there? Amartya Bharadwaj goes very full outside off stump. Ashish Malik, looking to clear the infield, gives an easy catch at a very comfortable height. That ball was at just below chest. So these are the comfortable height position catches. He still puts it down. Well, you cannot ask an easy catch than that. That's an absolute blunder. This time a better length from Amartya Bharadwaj. Both the batters completes the single with ease. So 2 runs coming off the fifth over. Falcons 35 for the loss of 2 after 5. Another huge mix up. A misfield in the mid off region allows the batter enough time to come back. Well, there was a huge mix up between the two batters, but no harm done in the end. This time, Ashish Malik swings across the line and Abhinav Bharadwaj has struck. Hits the stump, hits the timber behind. Well, he was batting on lives, but still doesn't make anything out of that innings. 3 down for Falcons. Malik, the man, dismissed. 35 for 3 Falcons after 5.2. White Walkers get the third man inside the power play. New batter in is Akash. In at number 5 for Falcons. 55 matches for Akash. 648 runs, averaging 24. Strike rate 113.49. Will face Abhinav Bharadwaj, whose tail will be up. He's got a wicket. Short ball, punched away off the back foot, straight to the point, looking for the quick single. A good throw, but wicketkeeper there dislodged the bail without gathering the ball in his hands. So no point appealing for the run out. A very dangerous way, but Akash gets off the mark with that single. A very good length delivery, kept low, skids through the surface. Nikhil there looking to play off the back foot, gets beaten. That's a dot ball. Falcons started off nicely, but White Walkers they have stuck. They stuck for thrice inside the power play. This will be the last ball of the power play. Once again, slower delivery played off the back foot. Nikhil was interested but sent back by the non-striker Akash. So it's a dot ball to close out the over. Power play belongs to White Walkers as they get 3 wickets and only concedes 37 after 6:37 for 3 PFH Falcons. Power play done and dusted. Now they can have more fielders outside the circle. First change in the bowling attack. Now MS introduced into the attack. He's a medium pacer, balls in with a very short run up. 81 matches for MS, 91 wickets, economy 7.84, best figures of 4 for 21. Well, that's a poor delivery, drifting down the leg. Can't blame wicketkeeper for not taking that one as he was completely blinded by the batsman. White plus 4, 5 extras for Falcons. Their score moves to 43. Good delivery from MS. Good comeback. Akash defended on the front foot. That's a dot ball. 44 for 3 after 6.3 overs. White Walkers have bowled well. Driven on the up, straight to the point fielder. There's no run there. Point and covers. These two fielders are well inside the circle to stop those singles. Remaining all fielders are right at the edge. Sweeper cover and long off and mid wicket are the three fielders outside the circle, remaining all inside. It's a good attacking field set from White Walkers nudged away on the onside, chance of a run out, but the fielder fails to pick it up cleanly. Clean pickup and a direct hit would have been mighty close, but in the end, it's an easy single for both the batters. Akash 3 of 6, 12 of 16 for Nikhil. Very full delivery, driven on the up. Short covers fielder does well. So it's a dot ball to close out the over. 8 runs coming off that one. After 7 overs, PFH Falcons 45 for the loss of 3. Abhinav Bharadwaj to continue. A very good first over from Abhinav Bharadwaj. Picked up a wicket and only conceded 2 in his very first over. Now back to ball his second. Starts off with a good delivery. Akash just defending it off the front foot. Ball goes straight to the point fielder. No run there, so it's a dot ball. They've got a fielder behind in the gully. Deep gully. Sweeper cover, long off, outside the circle on the offside. Whereas short cover, point and covers are the three fielders inside the circle. This time handsomely driven towards the left of sweeper cover. Still, it will only be a single. Good fielding there in the deep. Keeps the batter to one. Coming to the onside field, they've got mid on inside the circle, and they have got mid wicket outside and a square leg inside the circle. So two fielders inside and an only fielder outside on the onside. So they are operating with very strong offside field. Well, that's once again handsomely driven. This time towards the right of sweeper cover. They're coming back for second. Throw is good, but still not good enough. Easy 2 runs for Nikhil, who moves to 14 with that. 14 of 18 deliveries for Nikhil, whereas 4 of 8 for Akash. Oh well, what has happened there? Almost a chop on from Nikhil, looking to play that one very late. Gets an inside half of the ball. That ball could have easily gone back on the stumps. Fortunate for him that it just evades the stumps by an inch. Very close. Nikhil should be very careful of that one. Well, there was an outside edge there. Short toss fielder does well, but both the batters called early, so they will complete the single with ease. With that single, score moves to 49. 49. 49 for the loss of 3. 4 runs of the over so far. Last ball of the 8th over. Very full, squeezed away. Just beats the point fielder towards his left. There's a fielder behind in the deep gully, so it will only be a single to close out. 5 runs coming off the 8th over. Well, PFH Falcons are exactly 50 for the loss of 3. After 8, 50 for the loss of 3. Falcons, after being put into bat first by White Walkers. Well, Akash, the man dismissed. Caught by Sayan. Fourth one down for Falcons. In the very ninth over. Well. Falcons losing their plot here. They have lost too many wickets. As fourth one goes down in the ninth over, they are not scoring heavily, but they are losing the plot. 52 for the loss of 4 after 8.5. Falcons. New batter in is Kartikesh in at number 6 for Falcons. 152 matches, 1515 runs, averaging over 16. Strike rate 113.91. Last ball of the over. Well, that one drifted down the leg. Well, wicketkeeper got a glove to that one, so it will not go all the way. It will be cut off by short third fielder. So white plus one, two extras for Falcons as their score moves to 54. 54 for the loss of 4 after 8.5. Last ball of the over. Outside edge. That will be cut off by short third fielder. So it will only be a single for Nikhil. 5 runs coming off the ninth over. PFH Falcons 55 for the loss of 4 after 9 overs. Change in the bowling attack. Praneeth now introduced. 67 matches for Praneeth, 19 wickets, economy on higher end, 8.59, best figures of 2 for 8. Will bowl the final over from this end. Starts off with a wide. Praneeth down the leg. Good take by the wicketkeeper. That ball was clearly drifting down the leg. He says wide. Match official says wide. Score moves to 56. 13 of 21 for Nikhil. Kartikesh has just walked in. Very slow through the air. Praneeth is not one of the quickest bowler. Relies on the accuracy of hitting the stumps. His success mantra is to hit the stump more often than not. He'll ball wicket to wicket. Slow through the air. A loopy bowling action. Loves to invite the batter for shots. Well, this time pulled away and straight to square leg fielder. Well, Nikhil, who played for a very long time but now has to walk back, hands over an easy catch to Abhinav Bharadwaj in the short square leg. Nikhil there got that one high on his bat and a easy catch for square leg fielder. Fifth one down for Falcons. Half of the team dismissed for just 56 on the board. 56 for 5 after 9.2. New batter in is Saurabh Gupta. In at number 7 for Falcons. 59 matches for Saurabh. 735 runs, averaging just under 15. Strike rate just under 100 for Saurabh Gupta. Plays with a very straight bat, but straight to the short covers. No run scored on that ball. That's a dot ball. Cut away. Will they look for quick single? No, they don't. That's a good effort there in the point. Amartya Bharadwaj there, the left-hander, does well. Keeps the batter to not. A good over so far from Praneeth. Only a well, there's a misfield from the wicket-keeper. Short third fielder does exceedingly well to backing up. Stops the ball from going to a boundary and keeps the batter to one by signal by the umpire. Now Kartikesh and Saurabh Gupta, both new batters out in the center. Kartikesh to face. Hits it straight as an arrow. One bounce into the side screen it goes. What a shot to get off the mark. New to a Chris, never mind. Hit a boundary to get yourself off the mark. No better way to announce yourself on the batting crease. 6 runs and a wicket coming off the 10th over. At the halfway mark, Falcons are 61 for the loss of 5 wickets. There will be a change in end and players will have drinks. We'll be right back after a very short break. Vivek Khare, VK, into the attack. After the change of end, that ball was in the air for a very long while, but no one inside the circle on the onside in front of square. That ball landed in a no man area. Safe. Single for Saurabh Gupta. Shot looking to cut, but misses. That's a dot ball. 35 matches for Vivek, 14 wickets, economy on a higher end, 9.25, best figures of 3 for 13. He's a very handy bowler. That's a low full toss, hit on the up, straight down to long on, only for a single. Score moves to 65. 65 for the loss of 5 Falcons after 10.4 overs. White Walkers, they haven't given thing away any runs. Well played with the soft hands, looking for the quick single. A sharp throw, but very wide. So no damage done. Kartikesh, the batter there running on the danger end, makes his ground in time. 5 runs so far of this over, yet a delivery to be balled. VK balls very slow through the air. Once again, slow through the air. This time lifted over extra cover off the back foot. There's no stopping that one. That's a boundary. So 9 runs coming off the 11th over by VK. Falcons after 11, 70 for the loss of 5. Praneeth will continue. A good first over from Praneeth. He's got a wicket and only conceded 5 in his first over. Now will ball the 12th over. 70 for 5 Falcons after 11. Very full delivery outside off stump. A very awkward shape for Saurabh Gupta looking to go over infield on the offside. His body weight was on the back foot and tried to play over to a very full delivery. Only imagine managing to get inside half of the bat. Ball moves all along the carpet into the leg side for a single. This time played with the soft hands. Good fielding in his follow through by Praneeth. That's a dot ball. Well, there's a change in field. Square leg now moves inside the circle. Well, walked away on the onside. No one there in the short mid wicket region. Will they come back for second? Yes, they do. Easy 2 runs for Kartikesh. No fielder coming after the ball. Long on fielder. Not at all going after the ball. It's the square leg fielder who had to cover good distance to get to that ball. By the time he gets around, both the batters easily completes the second run. Well, what happened there? Was there an edge or the pad or is it a wide? Short third fielder after that one. He'll cut that off. So it's couple of runs. That to a leg by given by the match official. Score moves to 75. In fact, it's been given one shot. So it will only be a single. Kartikesh will retain the strike, but it will only be counted as a single. Poor there from the batter, missing the basics. He should be having his bat inside. 4 runs coming so far of the over. Cut away, straight to the point fielder on a bounce who does well. That's a dot ball. 74 for 5 after 11.5. Currently scoring at 6.25 runs per over. Falcons, they need to get a move on. They need to stitch in a partnership. Well, what has happened there? Well, Praneeth there, man catch Saurabh Gupta, who was outside the crease, and yeah, there's no warning in the ICC as well, so no warning here as well, and that's been man cat that comes under the run out. So sixth one down for Falcons. Saurabh Gupta, the man dismissed. 74 for 6. Well, a great sportsmanship shown by the captain of Falcons, sorry, the captain of White Walkers, has come up to the match official and said, "We are withdrawing the appeal." So Saurabh Gupta will continue. Very full delivery, driven on the up. A slight misfield in the covers. In the process, looks like the fielder has hurt himself very badly. So it will be a single to close out the over. 5 runs coming off that one. Falcons after 12 overs, 75 for the loss of 5. Well, looking for another big shot, not getting the connection right on that occasion, Saurabh Gupta, but still good enough to get a single. What an over this has been for batting team. They have got 12 runs of that one. 12 runs coming off the 14th over by Chakri. Falcons 90 for the loss of 5 after 14 overs. VK to continue. Slow through the air. Punched off the back foot. It will only be a single down to long off. Score moves to 92. Well, Falcons getting some momentum back into the match for them. This partnership going along nicely between Karthikesh and Saurabh Gupta. A low full toss hit away. There's a fielder in the deep who makes a mess out of that one. Initially was charging in for the catch, but ends up nowhere. That ball bounces right in front of him and goes for a boundary. I'm not sure what he trying to do over there, but that's a boundary for Saurabh Gupta, giving the charge to the bowler. Now both the batters looking to bat aggressively. They have their eye in. Now a reverse sweep attempted. Ball went straight to the gully fielder. Karthikesh at the non-striker was keen to get on strike but sent back by Saurabh Gupta, the striker. 6 runs already of the over. Two deliveries remaining. What ball was that? Over the waist height of the bowler, of the batter. Saurabh Gupta looking to reverse sweep, gets misses, but he'll get a free hit now. VK guilty of bowling and no ball. Now free hit coming up. Batter advances, hits it in the air, but taken in the deep square leg, but of no use, so it will only be a single. Finally, a fielder holds on to one, but that's of no use. White Walkers, they have been sloppy in the field throughout. Once again, low full toss, hit away, fielder there in the deep, who once again makes a mess out of that one. It looked, he didn't even touch the ball, he was diving forward. It was low towards his left, but somehow fails to get a hand to it, and that ball raced away for a boundary. That's the second boundary of the over. 100 is up for Falcons in the 15th over. 102 for the loss of 5 after 15 over. 12 runs coming off the 15th. Chakri will continue. A very expensive first over from Chakri. Going for 12. Will continue. Captain showing faith on him. Starts off with a length delivery into the surface. Well, Saurabh Gupta looking to pull at that one. Gets an inside half onto the pads. That's a dot ball. 102 for the loss of 5 after 15.1 overs. Once again looking for the big shot. Gets an inside half of the ball. Ball moving in the fine leg. Does it have enough legs to go all the way? No, it doesn't. It's cut short by the fielder there in the deep. They're coming back for third. Yes, they have. So it will be three. Umpires there checking with the fielder. He says he's done well. So it will be three for Falcons as their score moves to 105. 21 of 17 for Kartikesh, whereas 25 of 20 for Saurabh. Well hit on the up. There's a fielder behind in the long off, so it will only be a single who does well. What's exactly happening there for White Walkers? They failed to get a wicket up until now from this end. Cut away, but straight to the point fielder. That's a dot ball. Well, White Walkers haven't conceded too many runs, but this partnership going along nicely. Both the batters have the strike rate up. Once again, cut away. Will they beat the infield? No, they don't. Good field by the point fielder who moves quickly towards his left and saves runs for his teams. So it will only be a single. All in all, 5 runs so far of the over. Last ball of the over. Chakri to Kartikesh. That's in the air. Fielder coming underneath. No one calling for that one. And that ball lands exactly in between. Well, no calling. No one there. Either long or long off calling for that. In the end, ends up no one going after the catch. That's a single to close out the over. 6 runs coming off the 16th. Falcons 108 for the loss of 5. Well, Abhinav Bharadwaj now back into the attack. His ball well with the new ball. Now is back to finish off. Starts off with a full delivery. Kartikesh looking to go downtown. Gets an inside half. Ball moves all along the carpet for a single. Good spell so far from Abhinav Bharadwaj. 2.1 overs. 8 for 1 for him so far. He's come back to ball the 17th over. Slow ball. Beautifully played. Waits on that one and crashes that one off the back foot. Deep extra cover fielder had no chance to cut that one off. That's well struck and well placed as well from Saurabh Gupta. Now moves into 30s with that boundary. 30 of 23 deliveries for Saurabh Gupta. He's moving along nicely. There's a Change in a field. Now, three fielders outside the circle on the offside. Whereas only two. Square leg is inside. Once again, drilled hard all along the carpet. Short covers. Fails to collect the ball cleanly at once. So both the batters comfortably gets back for the second run. Score moves to 115 now. They've got 7 runs already of the over. This is good from Falcons. They're getting runs right at the back end now. Once again, hits hard, but this time there's a fielder behind in the sweeper cover. Call is for two, but they have to settle in with a single. Sweeper cover fielder does well to keep the batter to 116 for the loss of 5 after 16.4. Anything around 150 will be an ideal total for Falcons. Once again, hit off the back foot, coming right off the toe end. There's a fielder in the deep extra cover, so it will only be a single. 9 runs already of the over. Last ball remaining in this over. An expensive one from Abhinav Bharadwaj. Once again, beautifully lifted over point. Will that be cut off by sweeper cover? Yes, it will be. Both the batters not running for the second. They are settling with a single. 10 runs coming off the 17th over by Abhinav Bharadwaj. PFH Falcons after 17, 118 for the loss of 5. MS now back into the attack. 2 overs, 13 for 1 for MS so far. Now he's back into the attack to ball the 18th over. Well, batter looking to go big. Gets an inside half of the bat. Good take by the wicket keeper. It's a dot ball to start off the 18th over. Hit hard, but doesn't get off the middle on that occasion. So it will only be a single, which will get Karthikesh back on strike. What will be the target that Falcons will set for White Walkers? Very full, lifted over. There's a fielder behind. Finally, a catch taken. Saurabh, the man there in the deep, takes a good catch, and that's the end of Karthikesh. Looking to up the ante, looking to clear long off, but he holds out in deep. 6-1 down for Falcons. 119 for 6 after 17.3. Well. Akash Mehta was the new batsman in and he's gone. A fast ball duck. Sharp work there by Aman Saini with the gloves in hands and Akash Mehta stumped very fast ball. Well. Seventh one down in a blink of an eye for PHF Falcons. 119 for 7. Akash Mehta departs for a golden duck. Well, the new batter in is Saptarishi Roy in at number 9 for PFH Falcons. MS is on a hat trick. He's got 2 wickets. Well, that looked pretty adjacent, but the match official thinks otherwise. It looked as if that ball was drifting down the leg. That ball was very full in terms of length. A very animated appeal there from the bowler. They looked very interested there. That was a very close call, goes in favor of the batsman. Another flighted delivery, tossed up delivery, straight to the deep extra cover fielder for a single. Good over from MS. 2 wickets and 2 runs coming off that one. 18th. 120 for the loss of 7 after 18. Falcons. Sayan is back into the attack. 2 overs, 20 for 2 for Sayan. Will bowl the 19th over. Sayan balls in with very short run up. He's a medium pacer. Attacks the stump more often than not. Will be bowling at Saptarishi Roy, who's got one of two deliveries. Short ball, looking to cut, but gets beaten. A slight misfield from wicketkeeper that's been given wide. In fact, that's been given byes. That should have been a dot ball for Sayan. A misfield from the wicketkeeper allows the batters to score cross through for a single. Batter shuffles. Saurabh Gupta there looking to access onside, but the line was way outside of stump. In the end, no connection with the bat. Full. That's in the air. Cover fielder settling underneath and takes a beauty while back paddling. That's the eighth wicket down for Falcons. Welcome back to the chase. White Walkers inside the very first over. 9 without any loss. Couple of boundaries for Saurabh, the opener. And now Aman Saini on the strike. The left-hander, so right hand left hand combination at the top for White Walkers. Mayank Chauhan with the ball for Falcons. Well, looking for the big shot. Got at the bottom end, and the ball beats the short third and gully fielder. That's a boundary to close out the over. A very good start for Walkers as they get 13 in the very first over. 13 without any loss after one. Ashish Malik to share the new ball alongside Mayank Chauhan for White Walkers. Saurabh now will be on strike. Right hand batter right at the top for White Walkers. 224 matches for Saurabh. 2118 runs, averaging 12.24. Strike rate of 94.5 for Saurabh. Whereas 210 matches for Aman Saini, the left-hander on the non-strike. 2830 runs, averaging 18.50. Strike rate 126.57 for Aman Saini. Will now face Ashish Malik. Well, that's played very late. Looking for the run out there. Loud call from the non-striker Aman Saini, and he makes his ground nicely. So it's a single to start off the over. He's a very good bowler. Ashish Malik is a very good all-round cricketer. A genuine all-rounder for Falcons. 171 matches for Ashish Malik. 143 wickets. Economy 7.74. Best figures of 6 for 12 for Ashish Malik. Now changes his angle. Comes around the wicket for the left-hander Aman Saini. He's got off the mark in a streaky fashion. But it was a boundary. He'll take it. So both the fielders outside the circle are straight. Long on, long off in play. Goes very full. This time the batter goes over extra cover. Fielder after the ball, but he'll give it up. That's a boundary for Aman Saini. Back to back boundaries for him so far. 8 of 2 deliveries, strike rate of 400. What a start he's got. No intentions to keep the ball down for Aman Saini. He was always looking to clear the infield. Gets the ball in his half. Beautifully lifts over. Covers for a boundary. Now there's a change in field. Now they have a sweeper cover out. After that boundary, this time he gets a leading edge, and a fielder in the point region makes a mess out of that one. Well, Ashish Malik there will be disappointed with the effort in the field. Plenty of catches going down in this match. First, the fielding team putting too many catches down. Now it's the fielding second team who's putting it down. Pulled off the back foot, but straight to the mid wicket fielder. That's a dot ball. Good shot, but for not. Slow one into the surface. Early into the shot, and he holds out in the covers. Saurabh there. Sohan the fielder there in the cover. Makes no mistake. First one down. Saurabh departs. Well, that was a beautifully disguised slow one from Ashish Malik. Saurabh early into the shot, gets a leading edge. Safe catch in the covers. First one down for White Walkers in the very second over, 19 for 1 after 1.5. Back-to-back boundaries for Aman Saini. That was on the pads. A poor delivery from Harsha Nishant, looking to cramp the batter for room. In the process, he drifts one down the leg, and that goes in the square leg for a boundary. 9 already of the over. A very late introduction. Harsha Nishant into the attack to bowl the 14th over. Already goes for 9. 20 matches for Harsha Nishant. 7 wickets. Economy 8.84. Best figures of 2 for 16. Well, that's an outside edge, and that ball raced away in the third man region for a boundary. That's hat trick of boundaries for the batter. Aman Saini is getting better and better as he progresses in the innings. He moves to 70 of 36 deliveries, now 18 away from the victory. White Walkers. 14 runs off the over so far. This is an expensive over from Harsha Nishant. Full delivery driven on the up by Sayan, but it will be a single to close out the over. An expensive over from Nishant. 15 runs coming off the 14th over. 117 for the loss of 3. White Walkers. 16 needed now of 36 deliveries. White Walkers are running away with the show. Well, Falcons desperately in search of wickets here. They need wickets to get back into the match. At the moment, Walkers are running away with the show. 117 already on the board in just 14 overs. They need 16 in last 6 overs. Well, that's beautifully clipped away in the fine leg. That ball is racing away. And yes, it will go all the way. In fact, it came off the pads of Cyan. That's a boundary. Runs are runs. Anyhow, it is. Walkers will take it. Walkers now move inches close to their victory. Now only 12 needed. Change in field. Mid wicket inside. Now fine leg push back. Cyan in the air. Taken in point. Once again looking to go over extra cover. Gets a leading edge. A safe catch by Akash Mehta in the point. That's fourth one down for Walkers. Cyan played well but now has to walk back. Fourth one down for Walkers in the 15th over. 121 for 4. New batter in is Amartya Bharadwaj. Straight away looks for reverse sweep. Gets it out of the pad. No point of appealing on LBW as that ball travels well outside off stump with the angle. Single and strike is back with Aman Saini. Both left-handers. Now out in the center for White Walkers. Deepti Rajan gets rid of Sayan. Well, that's been hit straight down the ground. So it will only be a single. Down to long off. Will they come back for second? No, they'll settle in with a single. 123 for 4 after 14.4. That's a low full toss, beautifully driven, but straight to the short covers. It's a dot ball. A good looking shot from Amartya Bharadwaj, but for naught. 6 runs of the over so far. Last ball. Well, that's a wide down the leg. Short third fielder after that one, but he gives it up. 4 wides, 5 extras for White Walkers. Now they are only 5 away from the victory. Well. That's a very poor delivery from Deepthi Rajan. That was an arm ball, completely misdirected. Amartya Bharadwaj has to do nothing. He just had to eat a 5 star, do nothing. No, 5 runs away, White Walkers. Well, a very full delivery, looking to drive. Gets beaten. That's a dot ball to close out the over. 11 runs coming off the 15. 128 for 4 after 15. 5 needed of 30. Aki to bowl out. This will be his fourth over. Starts off with a dot ball. That's a tossed up delivery, but still played on the back foot. Aman Saini punches it down the ground to long off for a single. Score moves to 129 now. 4 away from the victory. White Walkers. 4 needed of 28. Well, once again hit away, but straight to the deep fielder on couple of bounces. He collects the ball. It will only be a single, directed from deep, but still not going for a second run. Dot balls and 2 singles so far of the over. All in all, 2 runs coming off the first half. 130 for 4 after 15.3. Walkers 3 away from the victory. Aman Saini back on strike. Will he finish it off on this very delivery? Down the leg and hits it in the fine leg. That's a boundary to close out. That's an emphatic fashion to end the match. Amartya Bharadwaj ends up unbeaten, 77 of 41 deliveries, and White Walkers go over the line in just 15.4 overs. Match summary: White Walkers winning the toss, putting up Falcons to bat first. Falcons only managing 132 for the loss of 8 in their 20 overs. In reply, White Walkers comfortably over the line and wins this match with a 6 wicket margin. That's it. Player of the match will be Aman Saini for his unbeaten 77. So that's it from the match summary. Do catch us. We'll be back with exciting matches coming in the Super Sunday.